What's up, fellow internet denizens? Welcome back to yet another episode of... I have searched far and wide for every song I could find with the word dragon in the title so that I may rank them. I'll only be doing one song per artist, of course. I am ranking these songs based on how awesome the dragons in the song are and how much of a bop the song is. If the song is a tease and doesn't even say the word dragon in the lyrics or so much as hint at its existence, automatic F, though instrumentals are an exception here. Remember, just because I rank something C, D, or F, that does not mean I dislike it unless I state otherwise. Also, I will be leaving a playlist in the description so you can listen to these songs and judge them for yourself. Without further ado, let's go. Yes, you read that right. The Thong Song guy wrote a song about dragons. So the dragon here is a metaphor for his style, and unleashing it is a metaphor for styling on his haters, I think. I am white, and I am not well versed in whatever was going on in 1999, seeing as I was 1 year old when this album came out, so I don't know if I could fully understand it. The song's cool though, and I nodded to the beat. C tier, not really my thing, but still has a good beat and a great flow. This song is an invocation of all the apocalyptic dragons like Apophis and Jormungandr, calling them down to destroy the planet and bring about a new beginning. The vocals here are absolutely beautiful, like souls clawing their way out of hell. The guitar is like a churning storm, and the drum feels like the type of cadence that could cause a dinosaur to rise and storm through the streets of Chicago. B tier. The fuck kind of artist name is that? Anyway, this has nothing to do with dragons. The beat's pretty alright, but I'm not really a fan of the slant rhymes Mr. Mask uses here. I'm alright with some slant rhymes sometimes because they're often unavoidable. However, you can't just rhyme Mark Jacobs with Sega. F tier. No dragons in sight.
Dragon days and the fire's hot.
I always kind of brushed Alicia Keys off as mom music when I was a kid, but this song's great. I love how she plays with the day's dragon on without her man and compares that to a dragon kidnapping a damsel in distress. This is what I'm looking for in a good dragon song. It's been stuck in my head ever since I first listened to it. A tier. I have never really listened to Viking metal until now, and I kind of just brushed it off as LARP music. This song is about Vikings attacking villages and dragons coming soon after them. Or are the Vikings the dragons? Kind of unclear. The singer's voice is gravelly, but not in a fun metal way. Still though, this song set a jet of testosterone through my veins, and I want to punch a tree now. C tier. Twilight Force always struck me as LARP music. It was advertised to me as metal, and yet I'm getting the background symphonics that you'd hear at Sleeping Beauty's castle while you're waiting in line for an overpriced pretzel and it's 100 degrees out. This one gets a low C. It feels like the dragon here is a guy in a mascot costume. Also, this album cover looks like Thomas Kincaid threw up. My spouse loves Blue Oyster Cult, so I'd better tread carefully here. My favorite songs of theirs paint vivid pictures like Siege, Don't Fear the Reaper, and Astronomy. This one feels more like their standard fare, like In Thee and Career of Evil. It's not bad, it's just not as descriptive as their better songs. I do like the Dragon Lady character and her spells though. B tier. I can barely hear the vocals, and what I can hear sounds like it's a first take. Dude interjects spoken word parts that are arguably worse polished than the singing bits. I can't find any lyrics for this song, and I am too scared to look them up. If I were to say anything at all positive about this song, it would be that the guitar does its job. Also, I can't find the individual song on YouTube, but look up Dragon Come and you will find the song on the album Lake of Fire. I would turn on anonymous search if I were you, because you'll get a bunch of horrible, unpolished attempts at music in your recommendations for the next few days if you don't. F tier, Kill It With Fire. This song is about a koi swimming upriver to become a dragon. That's one of my favorite Japanese stories, by the way. This song really invokes the depths of that story and how difficult it is to climb a waterfall and how grand the transformation finally is. The guitar meanders like a coursing river, and the drums and bass feel like a torrential downpour. A tier.
In the marmalade forest.
Here we have the story of a racist dragon learning to not be racist anymore by befriending an Albanian boy that he had previously hurt. heart. The cherry on top is that one of the singers was the guy who played Tamatoa, and that kind of jump scared me. B tier. Gave me a nice laugh. I'll have to look into these guys. I do not like Van Canto. Why would you make metal a cappella? And why do you have drums? Doesn't that ruin the whole a cappella thing? Doesn't a cappella ruin the whole metal thing? This song also has a children's choir, which always throws me off whenever I hear it in a metal song. The lead singer's voice sounds pretty alright, and I think she would go better in a band with instruments. The song's about waking up a dragon, and that's cool. However, everything else puts it down to D tier.
We got killer Glocks loaded up with killer shots.
I really liked this song. I think it would fit squarely in my workout playlist. It's a shame the only mention of dragons is X3's lyric, "Rifle spit fire like a dragon." I wish I could rank it higher, but again, ne'er a dragon in sight. D tier's the best I got. Before now, I only knew Riot for their interesting album covers. This song sounds very power metal, and that's not a bad thing. I know a lot of people find power metal obnoxious, but I like it. Most of it. Anyway, Dragonfire only mentions Dragonfire in the chorus as sort of a rallying cry. While this song is fun, I can't give it anything higher than a D. The lyrics here are a combination of excerpts from the Book of Job and paraphrases from Nietzsche's The Gay Science. In the Job excerpts, Job is begging God to stop tormenting him, and the chorus is saying that God is dead and we killed him. But what do we do now? I love the themes of helplessness and guilt here, along with the instruments and the singer's style. I have enjoyed everything that I have heard from Anal Nathrak. However, this song is completely missing anything about dragons. F tier for this list, but A tier song.
Ancient times when magic was strong and true.
This is the kind of power metal that I do not care for. It's a guy sounding menacing while kind of grunting to the beat with a thick European accent. I listened to a remaster and it's still very low quality. I don't know what this says about the song or the band. The song itself is kinda cool. It's about bathing in dragon's blood to become immortal, kind of like Sigurd. I'm going with D tier. I do not like the singer's style here. It feels kind of choppy, but not in the fun gent kind of way. The guitar and bass are alright, and the drums are fantastic. The lyrics are about running from a dragon attack, and that's awesome. C tier. I fucking love the Browning. All of their songs feel so apocalyptic and neon, if that makes sense. This song is from the perspective of a dragon blotting out the sun and burning the world around him, potentially because he feels empty inside. The electronics make this feel even more chaotic, and the screams feel like something a dragon would shout as he breathes fire. S tier. You know how every teenager has either a David Bowie, Michael Jackson, Queen, or the Beatles phase, where they listen to every song the artist or band in question produces to the point where they get bored and move on to something else after a few weeks? Well, I had a Queen phase for like a month in 2015, and this was one of my favorite songs during that period. Anyway, this song was from the era where fans were starting to leave because Queen wanted to make stuff that wasn't Bohemian Rhapsody again and again and again. I think the dragon on Freddie's back is the pressure from fans conflicting with his desire to make songs that he actually wants to make. The bass line is amazing, and I can feel it in my heart. I am giving this a B tier. This song sounds like something a maiden would sing as she sits on the roof of her tower waiting for the right moment to leap to her death. The song is of course about drug addiction, as chasing the dragon is Chinese slang for opium highs. I fucking cried so hard I didn't notice that there were no dragons in this song. If this list weren't solely about dragons and music, I would give this an S. However, as it stands, this must receive an F. This is an instrumental and it kind of sounds like those Mannheim Steamroller Christmas songs my old dungeon master liked. Not knocking that, but I think it does sound a little dated with the experimental electronic stuff. I'm sure it sounded cool in 1979. C tier.
Don't tell me.
This song is about a woman trying to help a man with a dragon that needs slaying. The dragon, of course, is a metaphor for baggage. Amos's voice here feels so soothing, but it has an edge to it that says she's definitely given other men their own dragons. I am going with C tier. Not my thing, but I do like the metaphors, and her voice is pretty. This song is about partying with dragons because it's the year of the dragon. It's very 70s, but hell, I like it. Also, the dragon on the cover looks high as balls. This gets a C from me. I'd welcome it if it came on the radio after Toto or Journey. This song made me cry as a kid. It's about a kid with a dragon friend and the slow, sad progression of growing out of a friendship. I always wanted Puff to find a new friend, but he never does. I wanted to be his friend. Justice for Puff. A tier. I only included this because the artist's name is fantastic. This is what XXX would sound like if he were French. I had to use Google Translate for this, and the lyrics are just your standard fare sad boy rap stuff. The only thing here dragon related is a line that translates to "She wants to tame the dragon, she's Khaleesi." The rest of the lyrics are about avoiding suffering by learning not to fall in love. D tier. I was excited when I saw this was Judas Priest, but then I saw this was 2014 Judas Priest, and I knew I was in for something. It's definitely a lot better than what I expected from a group of past their prime rock stars. This song is about a dragonaut, I would assume this means dragon rider, destroying everything, even those who once worshipped him. Sure, it's corny, but I'll take it. B tier. In this song, a swarm of evil dragons are attacking and destroying a village. The villagers offer up a virgin for them to eat, but the dragons ignore her and keep on destroying. The line, "Perhaps we should have a plan B," kinda hit me out of nowhere. Did they have a plan B back then? Is this a Tiffany problem? Also, what does laverly heat mean? I can't find anything in English about this. Other than that, the drums hit like meteors and the vocals are cool, but the guitar solo feels generic. C tier. The dragon in this song represents a divided heart, I think. On the one hand, the dragon is powerful and undying and can be seen as the strength to go on. On the other hand, if the singer doesn't keep it in check, he will be devoured from within. The guitars feel so heavy and beautiful here, and the singer's voice is as deep and growling as a dragon. A tier. I haven't heard a lot of Stradivarius, but everything I have heard fucking rocks. This song is no exception. There aren't a lot of dragons here, and I don't know what they could mean by drawn to the ground by the dragons, but this sure as hell had me banging my head. I think this is about not giving up when there's something powerful oppressing you, which is awesome. Another question I have is, what's going on with the music video? This feels less like a dragon song and more like something you'd see in The Expanse. Not that that's a bad thing, I love those books. This song is awesome, but I'm giving it a C because I think it's less about the dragons and more about overcoming oppression.
I see that you have a lot of other gentlemen suitors.
This was the type of song I liked in high school. We have a guy trying to impress a girl by one-upping everyone around him and telling ridiculous stories about killing dragons and fighting karate bears. I especially love the dragon. He is awesome and definitely not some dude Danny met at the bus station. This song is obviously a lie, but it cracks me up every time I hear it. Solid B tier. This song is about chasing a primal state of rage, and dragons are a metaphor for this. Again, chasing dragons can mean chasing a high, and I think this is potentially about the berserker kind of high. The instruments here are breakneck and terrifying, and the singer's guttural screams feel like he's pretty damn close to the primal high he seeks. B tier. I love Dio. No, not that one. I mean Ronnie James Dio. Every time I hear his stuff, I feel like there's mana coursing through my veins and I'm about to start flying around and shooting lasers from my eyes. This song is no exception. This song is about hunting a dragon queen who kidnaps children, but she sees it all as just a game. Then at the end we find out that a techno monarchy is rising, which might be just as bad, if not worse, than the dragon queen's reign. The instruments here are a quick heartbeat and feel like the exhilaration you feel when killing a dragon. This is what I want. S tier. If you've made it this far, you deserve, I don't know, make yourself a good dinner. I obviously didn't cover every song about dragons here, so if you have a song you like that didn't make it, let me know below. You know what? I will accept anything that includes different types of dragons like Quetzalcoatl's, Wyrms, and Wyverns, and so on. I think the next dragon video, however, will be about flags, and I am excited. I like flags. I have been Alien Daydreamer, and I am out. Bye!